Hello there, guys. Welcome back to the Stamford Voice for Chelsea Deadline Day Activity Report. Nicolas Jackson to Bayern Munich, Ben Chilwell to Strasbourg, Tyrique George failed move to Fulham, Facundo Buonanotte move to Chelsea, Disasi failed move to West Ham, Sterling nowhere to go. Let's break it all down. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a like and a comment down below. So, let's start with the big striker because this was a huge saga, especially for Chelsea fans, because we knew obviously we needed to move on Nicolas Jackson, but unfortunately Liam Delap got an injury. So Nicolas Jackson actually got a here we go to move to Bayern Munich in the early hours of the deadline day. He traveled to Bayern Munich actually to do his medical. He arrived. We saw pictures and videos right before the game that we played. But now, 15 minutes into the game, Liam Delap gets injured. And as you heard me say in my post-match review, with Liam Delap injured, it meant that we were left with only one striker, and that is Joao Pedro. So the right thing for Chelsea to have done was to cancel the deal that they had made with Bayern Munich for Nicolas Jackson, and they actually did that. But what we did not know about Chelsea's plan is that they turned the Liam Delap injury misfortune into a kind of something to benefit from, because they made it look like they really needed Jackson back only to get a better deal from Bayern Munich. Here is what happened. So immediately after the game where Liam Delap got injured, Chelsea informed Bayern Munich that they were going to cancel the loan deal that they had actually agreed with Bayern Munich. So after informing Bayern Munich of this and Nicolas Jackson and his camp did not show any interest to come back to Chelsea. So what happened? Chelsea then told Bayern Munich then, if you want this deal to go on, the only way is a permanent sale. Of course, you know, negotiations here and there, and Chelsea came to an agreement with an increased loan fee with an obligation to buy. And actually, I think we should congratulate the Chelsea directors, because these kind of businesses are difficult to do, because that was deadline day. It could have easily turned backside for them. But all in all, Nicolas Jackson got his move to Bayern Munich for a package worth around 80 million euros. And by the way, we have to make this very clear. I have seen so many media personalities criticizing the amount that is involved in this particular deal. What are you guys saying? Hugo Ekitike moved for what? To Liverpool. And his stats are not even better than Nicolas Jackson's stats. Sesko moved to Manchester United for how much? His stats are not hugely better than Jackson. Jackson had around 30 plus goal contributions in 60 games. I mean, Jackson has very good stats to warrant that kind of fee, especially when you look at the market for strikers. So I don't understand why pundits are all over criticizing the move for Jackson just because it seemed expensive for them. I think that is pure hate. Anyway, now let's talk about Ben Chilwell. Now, I know most Chelsea fans have a very fond memory of Ben Chilwell, especially in the Champions League winning season, because Ben Chilwell was a very fundamental piece of that team that went ahead to lift that trophy. And Thomas Tuchel, you remember Thomas Tuchel was a coach who really loved to have the wing backs and a centre back pairing of three. So Ben Chilwell was actually amazing, and to be honest, I'm so surprised how much it's been hard for Ben Chilwell to get a move. But basically, you can understand, because the 2 seasons before Enzo Maresca came in, the form of Ben Chilwell and the injuries that he was facing were making it quite difficult for him to get into the team. So basically, I think that is what led to his form going down. But I think, and we all know anyway, Ben Chilwell is a very fantastic player. And even in all those situations where he was kept away from the team and situations where he was loaned and the club, wanted to move him on. We did not see any backlashes from Ben Chilwell. We did not hear any bad words, any bad interviews. So basically, I think Ben Chilwell is a laid back and focused figure. I think Strasbourg are going to benefit from the services of Ben Chilwell, especially in a team like Strasbourg that is seriously building towards something substantial, something significant. Remember this season, Racing Strasbourg are playing in the Conference League. So Ben Chilwell, as a senior figure, as a leader in that team, I think could end up contributing hugely, both on and off the field as a leader and as a fantastic player. So I wish Ben Chilwell all the best, and I think that was a good move. That was a good move for both Chelsea, Strasbourg, and Ben Chilwell, because basically we were not getting any clubs coming for Ben Chilwell, really. So getting Ben Chilwell to move on a permanent from Chelsea, that was good to see, because again, as Chelsea, even if we are co-owned with Racing Strasbourg, moving on Ben Chilwell from Chelsea means we get Ben Chilwell off our books, because you remember the UEFA are really on our backs in terms of expenditure. So that helps us, especially now that we are going to be having to reach a certain threshold for us to register players. So that means if Ben Chilwell then moves to Strasbourg on a permanent, that means his wages are off our books, and that reflects much better in terms of profit and sustainability. So basically, for Ben Chilwell, all the best, mate. I hope you have a fantastic season with Strasbourg. Now, let's talk about Tyrique George. Earlier on in the deadline day, we were told that Tyrique George had reached an agreement with Fulham. He actually traveled to Fulham and undertook his medical, but something before the deadline actually happened, and the move for Tyrique George fell through. Now, Chelsea have reported that Tyrique George is going to be part of the Champions League squad, and I will tell you why this is fantastic. Now, Chelsea, including Tyrique George in the Champions League squad, does one thing. Number one, it increases the value of Tyrique George. Remember, Tyrique George is a young player from the academy, so Chelsea are banking on getting a good profit from Tyrique George whenever they actually get to sell. So if they include Tyrique George in the Champions League squad, that makes it a good move to build the value for Tyrique George for a move maybe in the future, maybe in the next summer. Again, in the left wing position, we have Jamie Gittens and Alejandro Garnacho, and we don't know how both are going to fare. So maybe, just maybe, Tyrique George could have a huge role to play in that left wing role. Now let's talk about Facundo Buonanotte, because the deadline day for Chelsea was hugely focused on outgoings. We wanted to let Nicolas Jackson go. We wanted Disasi gone. We wanted Bechil. A huge number of players to move on. But we actually managed to bring in one player from Brighton, and that is Facundo Buonanotte. It is reported that Facundo Buonanotte is coming in as a cover for one Cole Palmer. Now, there's one thing I'll remind you guys. When Cole Palmer came to Chelsea, you did not know about his abilities. The same way right now, most of the Chelsea fans do not know how much value Facundo Buonanotte brings to Chelsea. And especially when he's brought in as cover for our top player, Cole Palmer. I think this guy could surprise so many. So for Facundo Buonanotte, we can just hope for the very best. Now, another move that fell through in the final hours of the window is the move for Disasi to West Ham. Now, this is quite peculiar. Disasi is a good defender. We saw his game when he moved to Aston Villa. But now it's turned out that it is Disasi who was actually not really keen to move to West Ham, possibly because of the kind of form that West Ham have been in. And not just this season, even last season, West Ham were really poor. So I think Axel Disasi didn't feel that motivation to move to such a team, especially coming back from a very good loan from Aston Villa. But now the question is, what happens to Axel Disasi now that he's at Chelsea and the transfer window has closed? The same thing happens to Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, his case is quite different because he didn't get any suitors. So I don't know what is going to happen to these two particular players, Axel Disasi and Raheem Sterling, because now they are in the team. They didn't get a loan move. They are not part of the main group of players that are going to be playing in these competitions. So what is Chelsea going to do? Now give me your thoughts down in the comment below. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Come on, you Blues. See you in the next one.